Welcome back, guys. It's Colin with the Sun Pirates TCG, and we are back yet again with my favorite leader, Vinsmoke Reiju. So, with OP-11 coming out, we have the extremely impactful support with that new 4-cost Reiju. This card is crazy. I could gush all day about how crazy this card is for the archetype. Being that searcher, being that 2k, and moreover, trashing all those cards to make it super easy to set up your ranger pairs, and moreover, setting up your judge play at the end game. This is a more viable win condition than ever, and especially important against Blue-Purple Luffy with how popular it's going to be. So I brought up two lists for you guys, one of which is going to have Porche, as you see here, and then another one will be a pure variant without the Porche. So there's still pros and cons to playing Porche nowadays, in my opinion. Against Blue-Purple Luffy, I find it less useful to have that extra 5k body because, again, you're up against a 6k body and you really don't want to go too low on your down count. Whereas versus other matchups like Green-Purple Luffy, that additional Dawn minus actually is helpful to kind of go below a threshold so they don't resolve certain effects like their Sanji Pudding or the rush on their Gear 2nd Luffy. So I think both approaches are pretty viable at the moment, and we're going to show those today. So the first list, you'll see a lot of the same stuff. 4 of every Reiju, 4 of each of the Ichijis, 2 judges. This is, like I said, very important versus the Blue-Purple Luffy matchup. Just a couple of Soras now. We shaved a couple 2Ks because, of course, we're fitting in the new Reiju. And we're back on the Niji pair. This is pretty helpful against the aggro decks such as Zoro and Bella Betty, which I think will be pretty popular to counter Blue-Purple Luffy. And not to mention, it's the additional body to play off of your judge combo. Going to the searches, of course, we have the 4 Kingdom and 4 Sanji. And for the Dawn management pieces, of course, we have the 4 Choppers that you can find off of the Porche, as well as the Black Maria. This card is more important than ever, especially against Blue-Purple Luffy, because when they're ramping up, you can use this to ramp up to match them, and then you can enable your judge play out of nowhere. And then last but not least, we have a couple tech slots. For this one, I chose to use Gamma Knife. Like previous videos, I still think this is a pretty good catch-all removal spell for most matchups, such as shrinking a Sanji Pudding to take it down easily in combat, or against Blue-Purple Luffy, shrinking like their Katakuri, or a Big Mom, or a 9-cost Sanji, and just getting a threat off of the table is pretty good. And yeah, that will be it for the first list, so we will show this in action. But before we do, remember to subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're versing Blue-Purple. And we're going second with this, which honestly this hand's pretty good, so we'll keep this. We have the Black Maria, which is really important for the matchup. And another one, okay, so we have a backup. So we'll start by doing some searching. These are of equal value, either Ichiji. I guess we'll get the little one. And then we'll Sanji again. This is a tough one. It's either the judge or the Reiju. I think I have to take the Reiju here, because I need to dig for my other pieces. If I take the judge now, I could just accidentally cut myself off from finding any more pieces. I'll guard with one of the Black Marias. Dang it, we drew the, we drew the Reiju anyway. It's okay, it's okay. At least that's what I tell myself. We will activate, draw 3, okay. Okay. Man, if only I took the judge, man. Oh, okay. Alright, it's okay, it's okay. We can play through this. Well, activate stage. Pitch Niji, I suppose. Get another Ichiji. And then we'll swing for 6. This is also partly the reason why we play 2 judges, so I can kind of find the second one potentially. Okay, so they God Thread our Reiju. I'll guard with one of the Ichijis. We'll take this hit. Okay. Blue Reiju's pretty good here too. The question is, do I want it? We'll poke 5 into the Zoro first. Also, since I'm at a huge hand size already, I think it actually is more correct to use Blue Reiju here. It actually digs deeper into our deck for our judge. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna go for. let's get a... Probably just want a 2k. Then we can go 2-drop Reiju, tag out into the new blue Reiju, since this one does not have a hand size requirement. Draw for leader. Okay. I could either get the Sanji, but then I won't have Dawn for Black Maria. I'll just get another 2k Reiju. And then we'll play Black Maria and gain a bunch of Dawn. Ooh, okay, they blind flipped Sanji, but they only hit gear second. So, really, really fortunate for us. They probably didn't have any other 9-drop to play out. I'm sure that's what it is. So, what do we do next? Let's start by pitching the purple Reiju. Let's see. We'll get the little Reiju. I have another blue one in here. Yeah, I do. Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. Because I could even go for an Ichiji play as well. Oh, I don't even have the... Okay, I'm glad I checked that. I actually don't have the 7-drop yet. So, let's play Reiju. And then minus for the blue one. We'll draw for leader. Ooh, nice. We grabbed the judge for the next turn. And then we did mill over a 7-drop Ichiji. So that's really good for us. So I can go 7-drop. Shooting the Sanji, I guess. And then we can go Black Maria, gain all our Dawn back. Then we can go 6-set lead. Give a 1k. I'm gonna 2k check them. Let's see. Okay, so they took the second 6, and then we'll go 8 at lead. Then we'll pass from there, returning 1 Dawn. Alright. So we're off to a really good start. Thankfully our opponent stumbled slightly by not hitting off of the Sanji. Although, to be fair, we stumbled ever so slightly by not having judged this turn, but... You know, it's a little bit of a high roll, I suppose. Okay, so they stuff for Black Maria, they respect it. Okay. I can let the I can let the Reiju go, because, like, the extra 5k doesn't do anything for me, since they're a 6k lead. Now, against the Sanji, I probably will counter this one, so I can maintain the extra swing. Yeah. I'll give 2 2ks. I'll overguard for this. I think the extra Ichiji is going to be helpful for a following turn. So yeah, let's start with... How do I want to do this? I'm gonna start by activating stage. Nice, we found the Niji. That's what I was kind of looking for. So... The question is, do I want to chase down the Sanji? We only have 1 Ichiji to work with in rotation. Yeah, I don't have any other ones in trash. So, I think I'd rather... I think I would rather just swing with it. Because I need to replace this to bring it back when I do the judge play. They hit Red Rock. Thankfully it doesn't hit our Ichiji. That would have been disastrous. Okay. And then, yeah, let's do what I said I was going to do. Let's go ahead and play Judge. Use card action, trashing Niji and Sanji. So we'll bring out the team. Okay, and then very important, I need to make sure I call over our Ichiji. And then let's activate Reiju. I I think I want the draw 2 instead of the search top 5. Especially since our deck's getting kind of thin. Yeah, we'll draw 2 cards. And there's the Ichiji. Again, I didn't know for sure I was going to draw it. But maybe I could have... maybe I could have kept track of my deck a little bit better, but it's okay. So bring out Ichiji. Bring out Niji. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, yeah. I was going to go ahead and use Judge to rest our Dawn. And then I was going to poke 6 and 7, which actually, funny enough, they... I guess that's why our opponent conceded, because they know they die there, because they can't Giant. I go 6 in with lead, it connects, and then they only have a 1k out of life, so the 7k connects for lethal. So, yeah, really sweet game for us. Alright, and going into the second list, as I said before, this is a pure variant without the Porche. We're just leaning on the main Germa line, just trying to be a bit more sustainable throughout most of the game, having more counter available, and just playing more towards that Judge play. So going into it, we're playing a couple of the new blue Niji, just being an additional 2k that is searchable, and moreover, it's an additional way of activating your 3-drop Niji. We're still playing 4 of every other best ranger, and then still 2 copies of Judge. It's really all you need since we have so many searches. We're still playing the Chopper notably, and the Black Marias. I still think we need this many copies of our sort of Dawn management pieces. The Chopper is still just really good by himself, being that ramp while also being a blocker for us. And Black Maria, like I said, is like, it's way too important. And then over here we have a couple flex slots. Usually I like to use these as removal spells. We have a couple copies of Red Rock. This is a concession to the Blackbeard deck, being able to bottom deck like Burgesses, as well as the 10-drop Teach and that new 7-drop Teach from the starter deck. Gum Gum Lightning is a pretty cool inclusion. I've seen this in some lists before. You get to combo this with Ichiji to potentially shrink and destroy an 8k body, such as like Sanji Pudding or the new 8-drop Katakuri. And especially against other aggro decks like Bello Betty, for example, this is actually pretty helpful for slowing them down, especially if you can follow up with a Chopper afterwards. So I've been pretty impressed with this card. You can kind of change these ratios around. You can play Gamma Knife if you would like, as well as something like Black Bug, but this is what I've been working with so far. One other tech choice that I did not mention in the first deck was the new blue 7-drop Ichiji. This card's okay. I like this against Blackbeard as an additional 7-drop that you can tag into from your 4-drop Ichiji, since again you're kind of cut off from the rush because they're turning off your on-plays. Against the aggro decks is also pretty helpful, being that additional big blocker that they can't really deal with, but I just felt like the deck space was a little bit too tight and it's not always helpful in most cases, so I decided to omit it, but you can definitely find room for this if you would like. But at any rate, let's get into some more gameplay and we will show this one in action. Okay, so we're going first versus Betty, and honestly this hand's not half bad, so I'm gonna keep this. And we're going first. Ooh, nice, and they have the immortal double searcher, turn 1 going second, so they got Ivankov and Lindbergh, so that's definitely going to be pretty scary for us. We'll play Reiju for Reiju, draw 3, and nice, we hit the stage. We'll go ahead and swing 5. And then play the stage. We'll pitch Judge, he's pretty useless in this matchup. And we'll grab the Ichiji in hopes that we'll find the 4-drop later. Okay, this is gonna hurt. We'll guard for 1k here. Guess we can take that hit. And then, feels a little bit bad, but I'll give it 2k for the leader swing. And Lindbergh, okay. Okay, so let's pitch our Ichiji. I'll grab the Niji for a following turn. Hopefully we find the 5-drop Niji to answer their board. Because here I can go Gum Gum Lightning to destroy their Ivankov. Nice, and we hit the Ichiji, okay. And then we can do a bit of cleanup. Unfortunately, I cannot bring out the chopper. I guess I can for the Dawn. Yeah. But I'll just pass from there. I'll save the chopper for a following turn. Okay, so they go Eva into Karasu, okay. And they played stage and pitched to find the other Karasu. And I will give... I'll give the choppers a 1k actually. Okay, and they do decide to pump. Yeah, we'll let our Reiju go. That's fine. Let's go Ichiji. For Ichiji, draw for leader, shrink their guy. Then we can go 5k into 3k. And then we'll go 7k at lead. Okay, thankfully no trigger body. We'll pitch stage for stage. And then this little bit greedy play here. I'm gonna grab the Ichiji in hopes we find another 4-drop. Because if we can establish the second one, we can answer their board a little bit better next turn if they swing out. Okay, that's terrifying. So, we'll give the 2k here. Because that's actually the easiest attack to defend this turn. We'll let that go and then take the 9. Ooh, another lightning. No trigger. I think we're actually going to use that, funny enough. Because now I can go... Lightning... Take out their koala. I can go 6 in over their Karasu. And then now I can play Chopper to gain back a Dawn. And then we find another 4-drop Ichiji. Okay. Okay. Yikes. Ooh boy, this is gonna be this is gonna be really close. So they're going all in. I think we might have enough counter though. But we'll see. So they have an 8k swing, a 7k, another 8k, and a 9k, I think. Okay. I'll take the first one. Oh man, we triggered Red Rock? No way, dude. Alright, we'll bottom deck the koala. Oh man, sorry opponent. Okay, so they have an 8k swing, and then this is a 10k, but then we have... Yeah, we should have enough counter. Yep, so 2, 2, 2, and then 2 more, so... 2 ones. Oh, I could have given the Reiju. It's fine, it's fine. It doesn't super matter. Okay. Now is it... Dang. Okay, now is it 7... Is it 7-7 or 6-8? I think it's 6-8. It's better. We'll swing for 6. Okay. And then we'll bring out Ichiji. Draw, shrink. And then 8 at lead for lethal. Nice, and we took it. Oh man, we got a little bit lucky there though. Alright, and heading into the wrap up for this, like I said before, I think there are some pros and cons with using the Porche package nowadays. Funny enough, in that first game against Blue Purple Luffy, we did not even cast this card. And something I had not mentioned before in the deck profiles is that there's very little to no space for the Foxy 2k. So just do be pleasantly surprised when you are resolving that search ability if you actually find anything. But do let me know down in the comments what you guys prefer. I really want to hear from you Reiju enthusiasts out there, how your experiences have been, especially now that we're in a lot of new territory with the new starter decks coming out. So do let me know if you have any recommendations for other tech cards or other ratios out there. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.